Facts are facts are facts in this land. And of course, you know, I've been telling you forever. But it does take reporting like this to show exactly the condition and the very nature of the way that our government thinks. And if it thinks like this in one area, it's this way all the way across the board, because it's a curriculum. It's a curriculum that is literally taught all the way across the board. News has just broken, just came out. You remember the Occupy Wall Street movement up there in New York. And you remember them netting up all these women, and then this cop comes out. These cops come out and just start pepper spraying these people for no reason whatsoever at all. Now, according to the Constitution of the United States of America, the people have a right to protest their government for redress and a grievance. And of course, this protest now, that's what they call it. They call it a protest. You can see that, and I'm going to hold up something that literally is going to make a lot of you act like Count Dracula when he sees a cross. Look at this. A Bible. The Bible says that there's a system. It had already called it before it even happened. Said that there's a system that was going to come. And I'm telling you that it's here now. And that this system would stamp out all residue, meaning it's going to stamp out all resistance. And the people in New York are slowly but surely finding out what the people in LA and all the gangster rappers have been rapping about for, you know, at least a couple of decades. Now the gangster rappers are being vilified because of the actions that the police are now taking against the citizens in other areas to where the population is the majority of whites that show up at these particular protests. And they're finding out the cold hard facts and the cold hard truth that there's no justice in this land. And Gerald Celente said it best. There ain't no justice, it's just us. And the just us are the people who are in high government offices, so-called lawmakers that are making the laws. And then you have the police force and the military people who actually work for these rich people that are in these offices. And the rest of us are viewed as peasants. That's what we are. They are the nobles and we are the peasants. That is how they view things. There's no fairness. It's all grandstanding and stage playing, and they're not. Hey, I'll tell you right now, America, it's going to continue to keep taking stuff like this to see that this thing you've got in your mind about a free country, where you have liberty and all that is thrown out the door. The whole government has been hijacked. And of course, later on, there's a video also showing, and I'm going to include the video down here at the bottom so you can see it from RT. There's a cop that just literally reared back and laid back and just literally just knocked out a protester right there. I mean, just no self-control, no restraint whatsoever at all. I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to make a prediction. Emotions are high and they're running crazy. You're going to see here in America, the next time there's going to be one of these great major protests in the near future, you're going to see these police start abusing the protesters. And you're going to watch the people who is considered the mob. You're going to watch them take justice into their own hands. And you're going to watch them stamp out the police. And then from that point, the government would declare martial law. They will bring in the National Guard. And of course, now you people who say that you have sworn to defend the Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic, You're going to have to determine if you're actually going to obey that oath or not, because the people are going to start rising up. I had the other day, someone said to me, well, what are we going to do? What are you going to do? They got all the bombs, they got all this, all that. You know, the government has always had superior firepower to the people. In place of the people. You know, the people have never really had superior firepower. But I'll tell you one thing, the people have always won. History proves it. It's just today that every man is going to have to search their own heart and search their own soul. And they're going to have to figure out, is life worth living if you can't be at liberty and have freedom in a country that has an illusion of freedom? And let me say this again. The whites here in America, you're discovering what the blacks have been under all this time. And now the head, or the veil from the head of the beast, is being ripped off, just like I predicted years ago. These people, they don't care if you black, they don't care if you white. If you're not one of them, they're going to stamp you out. So the people are starting to see that there's no justice in this land. And so I predict that the people are going to start taking justice into their own hands. Now that document called the Constitution is starting to make a whole lot of sense. You know, I'm wondering if Thomas Jefferson was here today. I'm wondering what would he say to government officials, and what would he say to the people, and how would he lead the people? Just the other day I was in the store and I looked at, they got a movie out called Abraham Lincoln. I picked up the movie, I looked at the title, I looked what it said on the back of it, and I immediately put it back on the shelf. Because here in America, they control history. And so therefore they tell you exactly what they want you to believe. And so now they put it in pictures and in movies because they know Americans are not going to read any books whatsoever at all. As a matter of fact, if you want to hide history and hide truth from anybody today, just put it in a book. That's all you have to do. Just put it in a book. But all these police, every single one of them that have actually perpetuated these injustices against the citizens who are their masters, who they were supposed to be protecting. And the police abused their masters. None of them are going to face any charges. And of course now the woman and a bunch of, group of the women said that they're going to prepare a civil suit. And of course, I'm going to tell you to have fun with that. Because the same system that says that there's not enough evidence, even though the evidence is clear right here, and you're going to see it again, just to refresh your memory at the bottom. The same system has said that they are not going to face any charges. You're going to get the same answer whether you go to the courts, the Court of Appeal, or the Supreme Court. You have to understand, I'm trying to get all you people to understand, there's a us and there's a them. And they have, a long, long time ago, have already drew the line in the sand. And it's evident by their actions that the terrorists are the people of the United States of America. When 9/11 happened, the terrorists are not under the laws and the restrictions that we're under now. When they wrote the Patriot Act, I told you it's an act against all patriots, so they named it right. Every single time something happens in this land, every single time, they use it as an opportunity to take away more of your civil liberties. I think what you need to do is educate yourself and try to figure out where your liberties derive from. Do they come from man or do they come from Yah? I'm in here early this morning. What time is it? It's 4:21 a.m. in the morning. And I've been in here for a couple of hours. And I'm preparing my message for Shabbat. And my message is a literal paradigm shift and a game changer that I've been preaching on the last 3 Sabbaths, because it totally destroys the paradigm of everything Christianity has always presented, as well as the Messianic Jews and Judaism in itself. It's all a farce. It's all a lie. And I'm actually using the same sources that we have all been using since we've gone to church. See, the truth is in there. The problem is the way that they have told you what the truth is. And since we don't exercise self-autonomy too much in this country, we've all but lost our ability to discern. But the Most High did promise that he was going to give us pastors, and they were going to be according to his heart, and that's what I am. And I'm going to feed the people with knowledge and understanding. But I can tell you one thing, there ain't no justice in this land right here. So I predict. Oh, and let me go back again. There's a reason why the DHS bought 1.4 billion rounds of hollow points. There's a reason why that they have literally just bought up about every single ready-to-eat meals that there is. There's a reason why that they're making moves to protect themselves, and they're protecting the international bankers from you, the people. And if you watch the posture of our government and the moves it's been making, it's protecting itself from you, the people. As a matter of fact, that's the reason why they're making bills. And before the year 2020, we're going to have 30,000 unmanned, remote controlled drones flying over our heads, subject to blow up any one of us at any given time at their leisure. You know why? Because a long, long time ago, before we even got to this condition, this book right here said that there was coming a system, a beast system, that was going to rise up and it's going to stamp out all residue and all resistance. So when I talk to you, I understand the signs of the times and what's going on. I'm not concerned about all the people who have their personal opinions above facts. And if I said it once, I said it 1,000 times. We may all be entitled to our own opinion, but we're definitely not entitled to our own facts. And ignorance is definitely not bliss. So we have a lot of evaluating that we need to do. There needs to be a total reset. Because I'm telling you right now, America, you're not going to get no justice in an unjust land. And by the way, while I'm on this subject, how in the world can you get justice on stolen ground anyway? From the very outset and from the very beginning, the whole system is flawed. America's had its run. It's done rape, rob, murder, and pillaged many, 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 many countries. We've got blood on our hands, and the chickens are coming home to roost. I want all you people who do have the ability to hear and can hear to start paying attention to what I'm saying and make moves. It may preserve your life for another day, another year, another decade, or maybe another 20 years, but it's a whole lot better than the options that people do not have for us today. at least my advice, does provide solutions. So don't just sit back and just do nothing and act like you have no power or no control in your hands. Take responsibility and get off your excuse-making rear end. Open up your eyes if you can and start seeing. Well, the latest incident is now every single one of us that own pressure cookers, we're all going to be labeled terrorists. Watch and see. And you think pressure cookers is it? Mm-mm. You know what it is? You control people if you control the food. And all you people still sitting there in these population centers, they only got one thing to do to control the whole entire population in those cities. You know what that is? They go straight down to the municipal water supply and they turn the knob. And just like history has showed us in many, many different conquests, you only have so many days of food and you can't live too long without water. And most of you are not hydrated anyway. And you will bow your knee. And you will beg for them to cut back on that fluoride and mercury induced poison and chemically induced poison and that fluorinated chlorine induced poison. You will beg for it to come back on so that they can poison you some more. I tell you, it's off the chain. Will somebody please tell me if my thinking and logic is flawed? And I think my greatest concern is with all these pastors all across America, at least they say that they are. And I'm challenging the paradigm of what you call religion. The book teaches that a watchman, he can see the enemy. He can see the wolf. And he provides warning for the sheep. And not only that, but he protects the sheep from the wolf. There's a lot of reevaluation that needs to be going on in this time that we're living in, because many of you have been greatly deceived.